You got to be consistent.
With Colin Cowherd.
Mic check.
The reputation of European players was a little soft. And that stigma isn't true anymore, but it was out there for a long time. And American players, domestic players, will test European players often more than our guys. They'll test them. And European players coming to foreign soil come to this country, and I'm going to give them a little bit of a break here. They really want to establish who they are. So you also have the reality that Wemby's young. He's 22 years old. And there's a lot of 31-year-olds in the league. So he's international. He's young. He's getting all this attention. And the NBA and the veterans, they're testing him. And he is passing that test with flying colors.
This is The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Wow.
Weekdays at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific.
I did.
It's Dan Patrick.
Yeah, him.
You trust Dan. You need Dan.
Nobody needs to know that.
Because without Dan, mornings just wouldn't be the same.
This is guaranteed to go wrong. Horribly wrong. Absolutely.
It's the Dan Patrick Show. Need I say more?
Shut up. That, to me, was a little cringeworthy there.
Listen weekdays at 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific. Right here
I want publicity.
on Fox Sports Radio. FS1. Live sports and live programming. FS1. Big games. Big takes. To find FS1 on your television, visit foxsports.com for details.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM. Fox Sports Rapid City.
And here's what you need to know.
The World Cup is underway, and today on Fox, Mexico grabbed a 2-0 win over South Africa in Group A play in Mexico City. Tonight on FS1 in Guadalajara, South Korea takes on Czechia. Tomorrow, the U.S. will make their debut in Los Angeles. Tonight in Raleigh, North Carolina, it's Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Final between the Hurricanes and Golden Knights, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Series is tied up at 2 games apiece. Day baseball, the Cubs lead the Rockies 9-3 in the ninth, while the Rangers have a 3-2 lead on the Royals in the sixth. Juan Soto hit a solo home run that broke a 4-4 ties. The Mets beat the Cardinals today 5-4. Tigers blank the Twins 11-0. Marlins get a 2-0 win against Arizona. In golf, at the RBC Canadian Open, first round play, Sahith Theegala leads at 6 under par. He's joined atop the leaderboard by Eric Cole and Emiliano Grillo. Broncos and head coach Sean Payton have agreed to terms on a new 5-year contract. I'm Dan Beyer.
It's time for South Dakota's Sports Talk Show. This is the Nate Brown Show, featuring live callers, great interviews, and thought-provoking sports talk. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
All right, welcome in. We are ready on a Thursday. I do believe I'm here. I'm ready. This is going to be interesting tonight. So much reaction, so much to say, so much to cover. Let's get after this thing. Let's invite you in. Hey, thanks for making this show possible. South Dakota Sports Talk Show is back from high school to college to the pros. We got you covered tonight. It is always a great day in South Dakota. We know that. Thursday edition of the program, The Nate Brown Show, is on Fox Sports Radio. Our affiliates, KWSN Sioux Falls, and here on Fox Sports Rapid City. Thanks for checking in on the radio side in your drive home. Be a part of the action on Twitter as well. We check our account throughout the show. You can follow us and watch us live in studio at Nate Brown Show. That's on Twitter, at Nate Brown Show. Follow us live. And on YouTube, The Nate Brown Show. Subscribe to the channel. You've got the live show in the archive right there. The Nate Brown Show, YouTube. Get there. And Midwest Sports Plus. One more place you can get this show live. Midwest Sports Plus right now. It's the new high school sports streaming app for live sports and The Nate Brown Show. Check out Midwest Sports Plus. Thursday show, guest lineup looks good. Some OGs coming in. Yes, the big timers. We've got Brian Noe tonight, Fox Sports Radio host of Countdown to Kickoff all season long, and he's in tonight on The Nate Brown Show. Brian Noe, his take on last night's fiasco. I know Brian has a lot to say, so we'll talk ball. Brian Noe is coming up. Then we're going to go two different directions. Vikings fans, you want to check in with Matthew Collar tonight. What's this story in Minnesota? Everybody's talking positive about J.J. McCarthy, and now the tinfoil hats are on tonight. That everybody's talking positive about J.J. McCarthy to get other teams interested in J.J. McCarthy. Is this... We got to go conspiracy theory and clean things up in Minnesota. Matthew Collar's been covering the Vikings minicamp. He is here tonight. Matthew Collar coming up from the Twin Cities, PurpleInsider.com. And then to Denver today. Doug Ottewill is on. The Broncos have just signed Sean Payton to a new contract. This isn't just an extra year or anything. They wiped out 2 years left, and they're going to give him new 5-year deal. My Broncos going Sean Payton heavy. He's going to be 67 by the time this puppy winds down. Where are the Broncos going to be? How many Super Bowls are we going to have? Hang on, pump the brakes. Doug Ottewill is in tonight. He's senior writer from Mile High Sports. As a matter of fact, Doug's just wrapping up my Cubbies beating up on his Rockies. My Cubbies are 500. We've had a tough time the last month, but my Cubbies trying to get a win at Coors Field as I speak. Doug Ottewill is there, and he's coming up from Mile High Sports. You know what's happening tonight as well, don't you? Thursday happy hour on the Nate Brown Show coming up, a full hour with New York City native Rob Kagron. I'm surprised he wasn't on the streets of New York, but he's here in South Dakota on South Dakota Sports Talk Show. Rob Kagron will be in tonight. I woke up this morning and I had to put my game face on to face Rob, and his Knicks are up 3-1 over the Spurs. Rob Kagron's coming up next hour as our guest host, national radio host, coming in on the Nate Brown Show tonight for Thursday happy hour. Hey, let's get you on 605-720-1067. We'll get your calls, 605-720-1067. I want you in there. The Pizza Ranch studio hotline, powered by the Pizza Ranch, East 10th Street, Sioux Falls, and in Brandon. 2 great locations with 2 Fun Zone arcades that are outstanding, and the best buffet in town in Sioux Falls and in Brandon. Your locally owned and operated Pizza Ranch. Barron's Wilson text line open as well on this Thursday, 605-720-1067, 605-720-1067. Same number, hit us on the Barron's Wilson text line. All right. Watched every second of that game last night. I've watched every play of the NBA Finals. And I hate to tell you guys this, because I'm not right about much, but I'm watching this game. My wife's watching this game. My kids are watching this game. And then my younger daughter kind of loses a little interest. She's going for the Spurs, like me. We're rooting for the Spurs. Kind of loses a little interest. Spurs are on fire. They're up by 20, 25, 29. And she's like, I'm going to go check some things out. I'm like, man, this is good. She's like, all right, we'll be good to go 2-2. And then it'll be interesting into the weekend. And I didn't complain too much, but I kept saying what? What did I say last night? And I'm watching this NBA Finals game. Take you inside my living room. I said, they're going to mess around and miss threes, and they're going to keep taking these threes, and then the Knicks are going to get it inside 20. And I said, if they get it down to like 14-12, see ya. I said that last night. I'm sitting here watching. I said, if the Knicks get this within 14, 12, something like that, I said, oh, the Spurs are still up. I said, it's going to be over. I said, I've said that. I'm telling you right now. I actually looked. I had a buddy who texted me on this text chain, and he said, somebody better take the Knicks right now. They're plus 1,100 live. That was when they were down 27. They were plus 1,100 if you look into the betting markets. That was a live situation. And at that time, I scoffed at him, but I saw the Spurs missing. I saw the Knicks starting to hit, and I said, the Knicks have done this thing if you follow the playoffs. If you follow these guys, they get down 20. I don't know what it is. They grind it. They grind it back. Brunson just hits shots like you wouldn't believe. And I said, this is going to happen. Just watch this. I'm not telling you I predicted they were going to lose when they're up 29. I am going to tell you, I had a bad feeling. I had a really bad feeling. I said, if they get it under 20 and they get down to the 14 to 12 point mark, it's going to be going the other way. And lo and behold, they got it. They went down to the wire. And now what's everybody doing today? They're trying to find the scapegoat. Everybody's trying to do that on the national radio side, national media side. I'm actually going to ask you guys. I do want to ask you guys this question of the day on the Nate Brown Show after a monumental NBA Finals last night. The biggest comeback in NBA Finals history. If you missed it, you got to, I mean, this is crazy. 29-point lead. It was 27 at the half. The Spurs were still up by 20, even at the start of the fourth quarter, and I thought, maybe I'm going to be wrong. If they can keep it at 20, they'll be fine. 18, they'll be fine. And it just kept chipping away. So after being up by that much and the biggest comeback in NBA Finals history, I asked my question of the day to the South Dakota sports audience. What was the biggest reason the Spurs lost? Okay, this is for you. I have my take here. I've got it. It's very simple. I have a very simple take on this. I'm going to ask you because everybody is trying to find that answer today. Everybody on the TV shows and the radio shows, everybody is, well, it was terrible coaching. It was Mitch Johnson. He didn't take timeouts. He didn't tell him what to do. He didn't tell him to stop taking the threes. It was De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox should have dribbled it out. It was his fault. What's he doing shooting? I can't believe he did that. And so the list goes on. What was the biggest reason the Spurs lost last night after being up by 29? Are you blaming De'Aaron Fox? Blaming Mitch Johnson? The bad coaching? How about the key turnovers? Fox had some of those as well. We got to blame somebody. I have my answer, but I want yours today. Seriously, I want yours. Thanks for getting in. You're live, and you go ahead.
Hey, Nate. How you doing?
Good, man. What do you say?
As a 23-year veteran of the military, I blame the French. The Frenchmen.
Okay.
They've never been good soldiers.
Oh.
They fold. No, they fold when the time counts.
Wow.
I'm old, Nate. I've seen a lot of choke jobs.
Okay.
In all different sports. I have never, ever seen a team up by 29 in an NBA Finals. Throw out that Atlanta Falcons-New England game.
Yeah.
This is the biggest choke. And it's just not one person. It's the whole team.
Oh.
But it's led by a 22-year-old Wemby that's making millions of dollars.
Okay, so you're hitting Wemby more. I like the phrase you just said. You have hit my answer. You said it was the whole team. That is the answer, correct? Correct.
Nate, why wouldn't you? What is there, a shot clock? I don't even remember, Nate. I'm old. But, you couldn't hang on to the ball for 20 seconds and try a two-pointer. Yeah, you couldn't make a few passes.
Yes, you are correct. But I will say, Wembanyama's not taking much blame, and he was bad fourth quarter. I mean, bad.
Why are we babying this kid? I can remember, Nate, you might know this name, Lou Alcindor.
Yes.
When he came into the NBA. Wemby can't even hold the jockstrap of Lou Alcindor.
All right. You're on a roll.
I'm not saying Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I am saying Lou Alcindor.
All right,
Wemby,
buddy.
He needs to grow up. You're 7'6". You should have 30 points. You should have 15, 20, 25 rebounds. My God, you're 7'6".
All right. Thanks for getting us on a roll today. Thanks for getting us started.
Hey, you bet. You have a great weekend.
All right. I appreciate it. Good stuff to get us started there. He's hitting Wemby a little bit. I don't think a lot of people are today. You look at his shot chart. You know what people have done? And I'm a Wemby fan, by the way. I've really enjoyed. That's probably why I've jumped the bandwagon to the Spurs. I admit to you guys, I'm not a Spurs lifer. You guys know this. I mean, I'm a bandwagoner with the Spurs, meaning I've watched them the last 2 years with Castle and Wembanyama, and I'm like, man, these guys they get after it. They actually play hard in the regular season. I was trying to find a team that played basketball in the regular season, and that's the Spurs. I've started liking the Spurs. I have a passion now. I was ticked last night. But I'm just a bandwagoner. I'm admitting that. So I can imagine what people in San Antonio, the lifelong Spurs fans, are going, we just let that happen? But you know what they're blaming? Instead of Wembanyama's bad fourth quarter and really bad second half, they blame the coach because they didn't take him out enough. He needs to just play. People, he should have rested him. He should have. I don't care. This is the finals, man. This is the game. You got to get it 2-2. Wembanyama needs to play. I think they take him out too much. And so the one time Coach Mitch Johnson doesn't take him out, now people are going to talk about that? They took him out too much. It's too soft. You got to play, man. And then they say, well, he was tired. He was this. He's got to stink and play. So this is about, to me, the caller just said it. He said, you got to blame the entire team. You absolutely have to blame the players. And you could say what you want. Call a timeout. Don't take so many threes, this and that. The players got gun shy. The players were playing prevent defense. This is the old prevent in the NFL. Just playing not to lose. Man, they got scared. Man, the Spurs were just playing not to lose. How much time's left? Are we still up by 8? It's like they just totally melt down. The Knicks didn't win that. I just tell you this. The Knicks did not win winning plays. They made some nice plays. They scored an average second half. It's not like they just lit it up in the second half and did spectacular things. That was the ultimate player-led choke city for the Spurs. Quit blaming De'Aaron Fox. By the way, he got fouled on that layup that you guys didn't want him to take. He got absolutely fouled. Not even close. I can't believe people aren't saying anything about it. I mean, I can't believe it. No, he goes up for the layup, and they tear De'Aaron Fox alive. And he gets fouled, and we just let it go. Look at the picture. I brought it up this morning. It's a still picture. He gets his arm taken off on a layup, and nobody cries, and nobody's whining about it. They just blame De'Aaron for trying to go make a layup. Should he have dribbled it out? Great. Would they have won? I don't know. There's 10 seconds left. What if he misses a free throw? What if the Knicks get it back? Tip in. Well, I mean, you don't know. We act like there was 5 seconds left. There was 10 seconds left. Watch the clock. So if he dribbles out, he gets fouled right away by Alvarado. And then he's going to make free throws. I don't know if he does. Knicks get the ball again. It's still going to be a one-possession game, guys. We act like De'Aaron Fox lost the game. He didn't. He got fouled. Shouldn't have taken it in. But it's so easy to blame this guy, that guy, this guy, that guy. When the entire meltdown started, 29 points, you can't have it. A total player-led meltdown. The coaches can't win that game right there. The coach can't win that game. Come on. So that's I'm going full players, full team. Nobody stepped up with maturity because they are young. I get it. Nobody stepped up and led and said, we got to do this and this. They just kind of kept doing the thing. There's a reason that the Spurs get up by all these points. They've been up by double digits in every NBA Finals game. You know that? The Spurs have been up by double digits in every one of these games. Did you know the Spurs led in the final minutes of the fourth quarter in every one of these games? And they can't close it. Too young, don't make the right play, immaturity, not enough leadership. That includes Wemby. They can get fired up and all that stuff. They got to have composure. That's not there. They are better. I do believe they're going to be really, really good. I think they're great. I like the guys. Way too much immaturity. A meltdown. The coach can't win it for him last night. The players lost it all the way across the board. Across the board. Let's see. Listener text, I'm going to say the players, the Spurs are still young and dumb. No, I mean, that's correct. That is correct. Listener text, did your producer watch the game, Matt Kearney? Yeah, he did. He did. You don't want to know when he started watching. He wasn't watching when the Spurs were up by 29. He started watching at an interesting time. And things got worse. It's kind of like my Broncos. He said they were going to the Super Bowl. and then they didn't. We know how that went. By the way, what's your answer on this? 605-720-1067. Let's see. Bad coaching is the number one answer on the Twitter poll after being up by 29, losing the biggest lead in the NBA Finals. Who is to blame? And you say it's the coach, 57%. 43% the players taking too many threes. Well, that was just one of the things that the players did. I was sitting there on my couch going, why are these guys shooting threes? They were still up by 25. I wasn't that worried, but I was like, my family kind of looks at me like I'm weird. They kind of look like, what's your deal? They look at the score. They're up by 25 and go, they keep shooting threes. And how did it turn out? Not so good. Rob Kagron's going to be in tonight. We'll hit this even more. I got to get to the news out of Denver. Why did the Broncos do a new deal for Sean Payton so quickly? Sean Payton's going to be with the Broncos now for the next 5 years, guaranteed. Unless things go awry and you got to pay him some big dollars. Doug Ottewell, his reaction to the new contract for Sean Payton from Denver coming up.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
Save big money on everything for your next project at Menards. Know you're getting the job done right with a level from Johnson Level. They offer a variety of levels, laser levels, and layout tools for incredible accuracy. Get a 48-inch I-beam level on sale now through June 14th. Save big on Johnson Level products at Menards. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Sagging, bouncing, or uneven floors? Call Blackburn Foundation Repair. Standing water or high humidity? Nasty odors or dangerous mold? Call Blackburn. Critters, bugs, or other pests? That's right, call Blackburn. It's a fact. Crawl space problems don't get better with time, but they do get better when you call Blackburn Foundation Repair. Call Blackburn Foundation Repair today.
At Dakota Discount RV, we're in it for the long haul, just like you. Whether it's cross-country adventures, weekends by the lake, or family time under the stars, we're here to keep you rolling for years to come. While others are packing up, we're doubling down with dependable service, great prices, and the biggest selection in the region. Your journey doesn't stop here, and neither do we. Here tomorrow, here for every mile ahead. Visit us in Rapid City or Somerset or online at DakotaDiscountRV.com.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. A wind advisory continues until 5 p.m. tonight. Lots of sunshine this afternoon with daytime highs approaching 71. Northwest winds 15 to 20 miles per hour. Lows level off around 48. Tonight, clear skies. Daytime highs approaching 82. Tomorrow, mainly sunny skies. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently, it's 65 degrees.
It's pouring all summer long at Cadillac Jack's. It's the Make It Rain $125,000 downpour. Be here every Friday and Saturday from 8 p.m. till midnight for drawings every 30 minutes that start out at $300 and grow to $1,000 prize packages at 11, 11:30, and midnight. Then on Saturday, July 18th, 10 lucky winners will take home their share of $10,000 in cash and prizes at Cadillac Jack's Gaming Resort. How will your night play out?
In the past, if you needed auto body repair, you had to get multiple estimates and then try to get your car into a shop for repair. Well, not anymore. In most cases, you can stop by one shop, get your estimate, and schedule your car for a repair. The question now becomes which shop you choose. If you like quality, choose J&J Truck and Auto Body. They have ASE, PPG, and Gold I-CAR certifications that allow them to offer you a nationwide warranty. And they'll work with your insurance company so you're pleased with the outcome. J&J Truck and Auto Body, 1513 East Philadelphia.
As a rancher in western South Dakota, you know the meaning of hard work. From working cattle to working in the field, you know that the job begins before dawn and can last into the night. You also know that at the end of the day, it's more than just work. It's a way of life. When it comes to banking, you need a bank that values your time and is committed to your growth. Don't settle. Pioneer. Pioneer Bank and Trust. Local.
Pioneer Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Live callers, big-time interviews, and breaking sports news. This is South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown Show.
The Cubs are gonna win today. They're singing, go Cubs, go! Go Cubs, go! Hey Chicago, what do you say? The Cubs are gone.
I don't know why I just did that to my next guest. I do not know why we did that to my next guest. Doug Ottewill is just at the Cubs-Rockies game from Mile High Sports. He's here on the Nate Brown Show. My Cubs got a win finally against the Rockies. I mean, I got to have some fun with this, Doug. 9-3 final. How are you?
I'm good. And I can tell you that's not the first time that I've heard that song in the last 10 minutes.
Oh, is that right? Wow.
Yeah, I mean, you got people singing it in the, Coors Field is the friend to all, especially when it comes to Chicago. We've talked about it on your show a lot of different times over the years, but I mean, I'm going to say 50-50 would be generous to Rockies fans on Cubs games.
I have been there. It is huge Cubs following when they come to Denver. I mean, Cubbies fans, they travel and they're all over the country. I appreciate you not hanging up on me, Doug. Okay, I'm just having some fun. By the way,
we're in Rockies country. Like we have to take some things with a grain of salt. Like we can't take it too seriously. We'd be in a real bad mood for far too much of the year.
I believe that. I get that. Doug Ottewill on tonight, Mile High Sports. He was just at Coors Field. That game just wrapped up. My Cubbies finally get one. The Rockies were playing well against the Cubs. Cubs win 9-3. Okay, I won't break down Cubs-Rockies. I am going to break down your read on this NBA Finals historic comeback last night. My question of the day is, everybody wants to blame somebody. I said it's the players. I'm not saying just Fox, Wembanyama, whoever. 29-point lead. They can't have that happen. I know the coach can take a timeout or tell them to do this and that. Where are you at on the Spurs collapse and the reason behind it last night?
I mean, it's probably a cop-out, but you can't lose a 29-point lead unless there are multiple culprits. I mean, De'Aaron Fox lost his brain. Everybody that's ever played basketball know that you just dribble out the clock in that situation. There's one. Victor Wembanyama playing outside for most of the third and fourth quarter, playing the perimeter. What's he doing? Coach could have called a timeout multiple times to stop the bleeding, if for nothing else to tell him, hey, we don't need a three-pointer in the first 4 seconds of the shot clock.
Yes.
I mean, you could go down the list and find probably 10 specific reasons, 10 specific players or personnel, if you want, that they lost. I mean, there's just, you can't lose that big of a lead when it's not on one person. There's just no way you can. If I had to make, and obviously the situation dictates everything, but De'Aaron Fox got to know. You got to know you don't need that unless you're the only person within 10 feet of the bucket. And even then, they would have only gone up by 3, so it still would have given them a chance to tie. Like, you just got to know you dribble out the clock. But like I said, you can't put it all on him.
By the way, the Spurs, 63 wins. You saw them in the West quite a bit, I would think. I went down and watched Spurs Nuggets in the spring, and I'm looking at the West going, the West is better overall by far. I feel like the Spurs, they've led in every game by double digits. They've led inside 2 minutes in every game, and they're down 3-1. I just can't believe the Spurs are down 3-1. Are they better than the Knicks or not?
I mean, it's hard to say you're better than somebody when, you're down 3-1, but could they come back and force a game 7? Like, I mean, it's certainly possible that you're right. I mean, they've been better in this series for more minutes. Let's put it that way. I mean, they've dominated games for more minutes. They've looked like the better team pretty much every game, and they find ways to sort of choke it away. And that's there's no really other way to put it. I mean, you hate to use that word, and I know that coaches and athletes hate that, but they've choked too many times. I mean, that's just kind of the way it's gone down. They're they're such a good team. I think you also have to give the Knicks credit, though. I mean, they're or however they've caught this, New York spirit in a bottle and refuse to go down. And I mean, like them or not, like all the celebrity fans or not, I mean, there's an energy there that's palpable, and that the team kind of embodies it. I mean, Brunson alone, again, like him or not, care for hairy shoulders or not, he has been amazing. I mean, he's just been a great player.
He's a grinder. I mean, Brunson hits huge shots. I mean, the guy doesn't miss like when it's clutch. I feel like the Spurs have missed in the clutch. Brunson has not missed. And the tip-in last night was just unbelievable by OG. Okay, Doug Ottawell on tonight from Denver. What did you take on that's a huge story, biggest comeback ever in NBA Finals history. Let's go to the Broncos. So big news there. The Broncos have gotten rid of 2 years for Sean Payton. He had 2 years left. They just got rid of that. They just went with a new 5-year contract. I expect there's a pretty good raise in there. I expect the Broncos say, man, we're going to help out Sean Payton. We're going to reward him here. Is this the teams a lot of times don't do this early? What do you think?
I wish that you and I had jobs with the Denver Broncos. We have job security. We'd be getting raises. I mean, look at what they did with Patrick Surtain. We talked about it on your show.
Yes.
Out of the blue, here you go. Here's $5 million more. Sean Payton, I mean, I don't disagree. He's been very, very good. And everything that he's kind of, whether you like the whole Russell Wilson situation or not, he's built exactly what he wanted, and it resulted in, what should have been a Super Bowl team. I think had Knicks remained healthy, they're in the Super Bowl. There's no question to me that they would have beat the Patriots at home in the snow. But, I think, do I think it's a little premature? Maybe, but, he's a good coach. He's a really good coach, and whether he's kind of bristly and he can rub people the wrong way, and he's a little bit smarter than everybody in the room. But man, he's gotten it done in a hurry. And when you're the Broncos and you basically went through 10 years of futility after Super Bowl 50. He's done exactly what they asked him to do, so it's pretty hard to argue the move.
Would it have been okay to wait, though, this year? Davis Webb's going to take over play calling. Sean's supposedly not going to do that. Let's see if we caught lightning in a bottle last year, and just see. I would have waited after this year.
Well, I don't understand their hurry to do a lot of these things. I mean, as far as I know, Patrick Surtain was never disgruntled, has never ever indicated that he wasn't happy with his arrangement. Sean Payton's never said one thing about, coaches usually don't, but I'm with you. It seems like, a little, you just didn't have to do it. I mean, it's got to be the happiest workplace in America. I mean, guys are just, hey, come in here. No one's getting to come talk to me in my office because they're getting canned. They're getting a raise or they're getting an extension or something.
It's so Sean Payton, new 5-year deal. He's had the third most wins in the NFL over the past 2 years. So the Broncos' wins have gone up every year. They were right on the verge of the Super Bowl. So I think people are going to say, well, you're not going to get anybody better than Sean. How do you think it's actually going to go with Payton and Davis Webb? And then people think, well, now that Sean's there 5 years, Davis Webb's going to be gone here after a year or two. He's going to try and go somewhere else.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good read between the lines, because one of two things is going to happen. If the offense isn't good, Davis Webb will be canned. If it is good, he'll be a head coach somewhere, or, you'd think within a year or two. So I think locking up Sean Payton kind of secures the fact that, and maybe that's something that Sean Payton, whether it was a under the table agreement or behind closed doors or whatever, you say, hey, I will give up the play calling duties, but you have to give me long-term security. Because I guess if you're Sean Payton and, let's hypothetically say you turn over the play calling duties and, things go very well, you might be saying, hey, let's let Payton go and bring in Davis Webb. I mean, he's the guy that's he's the straw that stirs the drink on offense. I'm not saying that's the case at all. We don't know that. But I think if you're the Broncos, and especially if the Broncos management had any hand in saying, why don't you give Davis Webb a shot? And he agreed to it, I think that's sort of the other, that's the olive branch or the quid pro quo, if you will, of like, but you know what? You did that, and that makes us really happy. We're going to give you an extension. Who knows if that's the case in reality? But I think it kind of adds up as to maybe, potential reason why you give somebody an extension like that earlier than you really would need to.
Sean Payton going to be the Broncos coach, at least on this contract, through the 2030 season. So a 5-year deal. And George Payton, the GM, also under contract through 2030 as well. So the Broncos ownership group, Greg Painter, saying, we're going to put them in together. This is the run for the Broncos on the window right now. And Sean and George and the crew going to make it happen. Doug Ottewill on tonight. Last one, back to the NBA with the Spurs, with OKC. Are the Nuggets falling behind here? Have they fallen behind?
Oh, there's no doubt. I mean, I don't think you can look at it any other way. They don't have a whole lot of chess pieces to move either, and that's the problem is you can make the argument, yeah, they're close. Just a year ago they took OKC to 7 games and didn't get it done. So by that measure, they're a good team. They're right in the mix in the West. But every year these teams are getting better. The Spurs are so young and so good. I mean, you could say the same thing for OKC. The Nuggets would need to make the Nuggets to me look older every year since they've won a title. They just look like they're showing their age, and they don't have a whole lot of mechanisms to change that on the fly. I mean, they've got some really big contracts. I mean, Aaron Gordon, big money. Not many people are going to want to take that off their hands, and he's a guy that just is never going to play 82 games. Even Joker, I thought, looked a step slow. He's had plenty of Joker moments in the last season and even in the postseason, but on the whole, I thought he just didn't look as good as he did, especially post-injury this season. Jamal Murray, I mean, they signed him to a massive deal. He was great in the season, but looked, probably had one of his worst postseasons. There's a lot of things that don't feel good about that team and that roster, and I think making matters worse is that they just have a whole lot of, things that are prohibiting from getting any better or changing the direction of what they're doing. And they just seem to be getting older, and that might be the best they can do, and hope that guys like Aaron Gordon stay healthy and hope that Jamal Murray, rebounds from a bad postseason. But I don't know. They're too good to tear it all apart.
Yeah,
but they're not good enough to, add one more piece, nor can they, to kind of be back in the conversation with San Antonio and OKC.
Being good is not good enough with the Spurs or OKC. I mean, the Nuggets are good. I think the Wolves, Minnesota, I think they're good. But those guys aren't good enough. Doug Ottewill on tonight from Denver, milehighsports.com. Doug, appreciate you, man. Thanks a lot.
Anytime, Nate. We'll talk to you soon.
See ya. Doug Ottewill tonight from Denver, milehighsports.com, just out of Coors Field, and my Cubbies taking down the Rockies. I can be happy for the Cubbies at 500. Finally at 500 and 8 games back. We used to be in first, and now we're 8 games back, and it's only June 11th. Doug Ottewill on tonight, senior writer, Mile High Sports. All right. Listeners coming in with your answers of the meltdown last night. I had Patrick reply to me. Patrick, are you listening today? Patrick said this was the Knicks. The Knicks made the plays to win. He said the Knicks made the plays to win. And I'm just telling you, the Knicks made plays, but they scored just an average second half. It wasn't like they were off the charts. The Spurs made 7 shots in the second half, Patrick. 7 shots. My youth basketball team makes 7 shots in the second half. I'm serious. I mean, that's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. So I'm asking you, who are you blaming for the meltdown last night? It's a trick question. I'm blaming the players as a whole. Not De'Aaron Fox where he got fouled there at the end. Yeah, he got fouled. Check it. Well, he should have dribbled it out. No, it wouldn't have been a controversy. Yeah, he could have, and that wouldn't have guaranteed the win either. One possession game either way. Wembanyama was just rough. I'm telling you, the three-point fest when you're up by 20, 25, I saw it coming. It was perfect. I saw it coming. This is the players. But I've got people checking in saying it is the coaching. This is the old battle here. You're trying to maybe find one person. Everybody's hitting De'Aaron Fox, turnovers, and then the bad one at the end. I'm going to say, we forgot that De'Aaron Fox won Game 3 for him? Do you guys remember, if you watch it like I have, De'Aaron Fox hit the shot at the end in the final 20 seconds to win the game for the Spurs in Game 3. That was De'Aaron Fox. I mean, we take this guy from, he wins Game 3, and then he's the reason they lost Game 4. I'm not buying that. Listener text, it is coaching, Nate. You have to take your timeouts and break their momentum. Yeah, he probably could have taken at least one more. He took one or two, but it was already getting down to I think it got down to 12. I mean, it just went from 27 to 12. Now it's 12 points in the NBA. If you guys watch it, that's nothing. 12-point lead in the NBA is nothing. This isn't high school. So you get it down to 12. That was too far. So, yeah, he could have taken one or two more. Listener text, I'm going with the players. 0 3-pointers are needed in the second half at all. Toss it around, toss it inside to Wemby. Take 2-pointers with 5 seconds on the shot clock. You win the game. Yeah, that's right. Listener text, the series is all about how poorly the Spurs coaching staff has let their players down. Spurs have led every game and only have one win to show for it. All right. Brian Noah's in. He'll give his read. Fox Sports Radio national host, one of the best guests on South Dakota Sports Talk Show next.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
Nothing, not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one, so you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
The summer heat will be here soon, but our hot summer savings sale starts now. Get $1,200 off every door and $800 off every window with no money down, no interest, and no payments for 12 months. Plus an extra 5% off the entire project if purchased on initial consultation. Hurry, this exclusive offer won't last long. Now's the perfect time to upgrade your windows and doors, so grab these hot savings while you can. Call today or visit RBARapidCity.com to book your free estimate.
What do you call a place? It's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait, there's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps one minute and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
I didn't know anything about radon. I didn't know it's a gas you can't see or smell. I didn't know it's radioactive from decaying uranium deep underground. It can seep through cracks in your foundation and collect in your house. 1 in 15 homes have high levels, and you don't know if yours is one of them unless you have your home tested. And radon? Well, radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer in America. I wish I would have known that.
Call Blackburn Foundation Repair for radon testing and mitigation.
There are 1 billion credit card transactions around the world every day. That's 11,698 swipes a second. It's easy to forget that behind each one, there's a person, a family, a dream, a connection being made. The Black Hills Federal Credit Union Visa, for members who want to make the most of every transaction.
Sports Talk Show.
All right, South Dakota Sports Talk Show live on a Thursday. It is Thursday Happy Hour coming up next hour. Hang on, national radio host Rob Kegron is on South Dakota Sports Talk Show every week. New York City native. I didn't see him in any of those videos out on the streets, so that's good. New York nice, Rob. Rob Kegron's coming in, talking his Knicks are up 3-1. I got to be ready today. Okay, I've been on the Spurs bandwagon. Okay, I admit I'm a bandwagoner. Last 2 years following the Spurs, I saw them last year. I'm like, these guys are fun. They grind, they play hard. Regular season basketball is fun to watch. Then they explode this year. It's been great, and now they somehow give up the biggest lead in NBA Finals history last night. Down 3-1. Brian Noe with some reaction on Fox Sports Radio here on the Nate Brown Show. He is the host of Countdown on the weekends. Brian, welcome in. What's up, man? How are you?
Man, what a crazy game last night, Nate Brown. It's thankfully it's always a good day in South Dakota because anybody who had the Spurs winning the game outright or their team total over, my gosh, that's as brutal as it gets right there. You need to be a South Dakota resident to get over that.
I know that. Here's something I got from a buddy, a South Dakota resident. This is no lie. The Spurs were up, I think it was 27. So that was the start of the second half, 27. And he sent a text through on the text chain. I have it. He said, should go Knicks live plus 1,100. He said, you should go Knicks live plus 1,100. I scoffed at it, and then I thought, wait, here we go. Hang on a second. They've done stuff like this, and I can't believe it. So I'm going to ask you, everybody wants to blame someone. Can you blame someone for last night?
Oh, you can blame multiple someones. I don't know who the peak someone is, right? Like, you would start with De'Aaron Fox, horrible decision-making down the stretch, time and time again. I don't know what he was doing with 2 minutes to go, jumping in the air, turning the ball over. He's lucky Josh Hart bricked a layup. And then in the final seconds, what are you doing challenging OG Anunoby? You're up by 1. Just dribble the ball around. They have to foul you. What are you doing opening the door to OG blocking the shot, getting the ball back, and then the rest is history? He opened the door for that to happen. So De'Aaron Fox is public enemy number 1. Wemby cannot... He's the point. Fingers got to be pointed at him too. He was an absolute no-show in the fourth quarter. He was gassed, played 44 minutes, and then we get public enemy number 3, Mitch Johnson, the head coach. What's he doing playing Wemby 44 minutes? This has been a thing throughout the regular season, Nate, is he doesn't play monster minutes. We knew his minutes would go up in the playoffs. That dude it's like he was in the sauna for 2 days and then got out there for game 4. He had nothing left, so that's partly on Mitch Johnson. It was a catastrophe all the way around. The Spurs collectively just bombing threes in the third quarter, shot after shot after shot, clang after clang after clang. It was the dumbest basketball you will ever see for an entire half. On the heels of scoring 76 points in the first half, Nate, that's a road record in the NBA Finals for a team to score that many points, and they followed it up with 30 points in the second half. Unforgivable, man. The biggest collapse in NBA Finals history by far.
Some San Antonio media said the Spurs were being cocky. They said they're cocky. They want to just keep shooting threes. We're going to do this. You think that it was cocky or what?
No, I don't think it was cocky, Nate. I think that what really happened was they got comfortable, and I thought they lost their edge. I know they lost their edge because you're up, 27 points at halftime, and then you're up 29 points in the third quarter. They relaxed a little bit. They did not have the same focus, and you saw last night. You lose your focus for a little while, man, it's hard to get it back. It's not a light switch. If you're like, all right, we're in cruise mode, let's just turn the light switch off. Let's throw up some threes. We'll hit a couple of them. We should be good. And all of a sudden, here come the Knicks. They come creeping back. Cat hits a three. It's down to 12. It's all right, we got to turn the light switch back on. We're going to need a little extra juice to close this thing out. It's not like that, Nate. When you lose your focus, sometimes it is just gone, and you cannot regain it. And I thought that's what happened. I didn't think it was the Spurs getting cocky, and I just thought they lost their focus a little bit. They didn't have the same edge. They got comfortable, and that's what led to the Knicks coming back. And once that tidal wave started, there was nothing the Spurs could do to stop it. It seemed inevitable. It seemed like the Spurs had to lose their lead completely to then possibly have a chance to win that game. That's just the way it felt. That's the way it played out also. So, yeah, I just thought it was them losing their edge and losing their focus more than anything, Nate.
You think this is over? Is this over?
I mean, I have a hard time seeing the Spurs winning 3 in a row. It's one of those things where I pause a little bit, Nate. You can hear me, right? Where I think that I have a hard time believing, even after the collapse last night, that the Spurs are going to lose 3 games on their home floor. They're the more talented team. So if they win Saturday night and force a Game 6, all of a sudden, right, like all of a sudden a little more pressure on the Knicks. Like, man, we don't want to go to San Antonio for a Game 7.
Yeah.
So I can't say it's over, Nate, but, man, the overwhelming favorite is the Knicks. How can you trust the Spurs at all in these close games? They let you down time and time again.
Yeah, I'm with you on it. That's a question for me. I'm going, is this over? I feel like I'm jumped on the Spurs bandwagon. I'm like, they're fearless. I feel like they're going to bounce back after. Some people think after a collapse, you're just going to melt down. I don't see that on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Game 2 was very deflating in this series, right?
Yeah.
Where the tie game, Brunson misses a jumper, Wemby gets the rebound, and then the turnover catastrophe, then he fouls Brunson, and the game just gets away. Wemby misses the shot at the buzzer, the whole thing. That was a really deflating loss, Nate. They lost 2 games at home. They're down 0-2 going to New York City for Game 3, and they win. So sometimes youth, inexperience, sometimes it's your friend, right? Where you look at the Spurs, some of these games, like the way they've closed them, games 1, 2, last night, 4, they've been a catastrophe, but youth, inexperience, we're not going out like this, all that type of stuff. I think you can rebound quicker than a veteran-laden team that's like 3-1. Good Lord, man, this is like climbing Mount Everest now.
Yeah.
This young team is just like, we're inexperienced, we don't know any better. I would expect the Spurs to rebound from last night's performance a little bit quicker than some veteran teams might. So I don't think it's over in terms of, Game 5 on Saturday.
Brian Noe joining us, Fox Sports Radio, host of Countdown. He's here on the Nate Brown Show. Appreciate his time. Let's switch gears. World Cup kicked off today, just moments ago, with Mexico getting a win. U.S. men's national team tomorrow night against Paraguay. Tomorrow night in L.A., U.S. men's national team in the World Cup. How high on the juice level here for World Cup are we?
Oh, man, Nate, I don't want to be a downer over here.
What?
It doesn't even rank on the juice meter for me.
What?
It's not even there. Like, it's if this is a dart at the dartboard, it doesn't even hit the dartboard.
What?
That's where I'm at right now. Maybe I'd catch World Cup fever. I mean, I watched the World Cup, Nate, but in terms of the U.S. and polling for them, normally I root against them, if I'm being honest with you.
What?
I know. I don't know. Soccer in this country is, it's casual rooting interest at best. Everybody just jumps on the bandwagon. Let's call it what it is. I have no patience for it. So I typically root against them. I typically bet against them if there's an angle to do so. So I'm not excited whatsoever. I hope they lose 3-0.
Wow, I hit a nerve. I mean, I did not know this side of Brian Noe, the World Cup hater. A little bit of a hater?
No, it's really not the World Cup. I'll watch the World Cup, but in terms of U.S. soccer and, all these people, they have to act like they care. Don't get me wrong, there are some diehards that do care, right? But there are a bunch of Johnny-come-latelys, these bandwagoners that are like, well, I have to root for the USA. I live in this country. And it's like, you can't name a player. You don't really care. You don't watch soccer at all. You're just pretending. I'm just not going to pretend. I don't care. I hope they lose. I'm just going to be honest with you.
Oh, that's good stuff. Brian Noe on tonight. I'll step in for you. I'll be on board. Christian Pulisic, Tyler Adams. See, I can name players. Okay. Let's go to this Broncos deal today. You tell me an objective view. My Broncos have given a new contract to Sean Payton. He has the third most wins in the NFL the last 2 years. Okay, third most wins last 2 years. Broncos on the verge of a Super Bowl. They just said, we'll get rid of your last 2 years on this current deal. We're going to give you a brand new 5-year deal. Take him out to 67 years old. What do you think? My Broncos going all in. Sean Payton, this is the window for Super Bowl, multiple Super Bowls.
Whoa, you lost me at the end there, Nate. You were breaking up a little bit at the multiple Super Bowls here. What? Let's get one. Let's get one ring. But Sean Payton's done a very nice job, and especially without a franchise quarterback, Nate. You all know that, right? It makes it even more impressive that he's stacked up all these wins over here. But no, all kidding aside, you look at when he took over, Nate, that is a 5-12 team. That was the Nathaniel Hackett, and I don't even know this dude. Who is Jerry Roseberg? He was the interim head coach.
Yes.
Man, that is a trivia question right there. The Nathaniel Hackett, Jerry Roseberg two-headed monster. They were 5-12 in 2022. Since then, Sean Payton's gone 8-9, 10-7, 14-3 last season.
Yeah.
And if Bo Nix doesn't get hurt, man, they got a great chance to go to the Super Bowl, and who knows what we're talking about right now if they get there. So he's done a very nice job. I think it makes a lot of sense for Denver to rip up those final 2 years and give him a brand new deal. So I have no trash to be talked against Sean Payton. I think he shut a lot of people up who have said, he's just Drew Brees, he's a product of that, and blah, blah, blah. He's done a really nice job with Denver so far. So, yeah, thumbs up across the board with what he's done to this point.
Broncos giving some guys some new deals and some extra money to Patrick Surtain, and Sean Payton now a new 5-year contract today. Brian Noe on tonight, Fox Sports Radio countdown host, and he might discuss the World Cup, he might not. Stay tuned. Brian, I appreciate you. Thanks, man.
Well, I'll tell you what, Nate, I don't know if America can hate me as much as Knick fans hate me. If you just put anything halfway critical about there, they come after your jugular. I don't think the United States is the same way, but I'll test that theory out with soccer. I'll get back to you on that one.
Okay, we'll be listening. I appreciate him. Brian Noe, one of our favorites, Fox Sports Radio. We did a little back-to-back hitter. He's filled in for Ben Maller. We had Ben Maller yesterday. Brian Noe today from the show Countdown every weekend here on Fox Sports Radio. All right, Vikings talk with Matthew Coller. Is there truly a quarterback competition? That's the big question. Does Matthew Coller have the answer next?
This is the Nate Brown.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one. So you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. the #1 hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
The summer heat will be here soon, but our hot summer savings sale starts now. Get $1,200 off every door and $800 off every window with no money down, no interest, and no payments for 12 months. Plus an extra 5% off the entire project if purchased on initial consultation. Hurry, this exclusive offer won't last long. Now's the perfect time to upgrade your windows and doors, so grab these hot savings while you can. Call today or visit RBARapidCity.com to book your free estimate.
What do you call a place that's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait, there's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps one minute, and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
I didn't know anything about radon. I didn't know it's a gas you can't see or smell. I didn't know it's radioactive from decaying uranium deep underground. It can seep through cracks in your foundation and collect in your house. 1 in 15 homes have high levels, and you don't know if yours is one of them unless you have your home tested. And radon? Well, radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer in America. I wish I would have known that.
Call Blackburn Foundation Repair for radon testing and mitigation.
Are there as many kinds of vehicles as there are kinds of people? We think so. At Black Hills Federal Credit Union, we help all kinds of people come together with all kinds of vehicles. With loans made to fit everyone and every ride.
Show from East River to West River. This is South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown Show.
All right, welcome back in. The Nate Brown Show on tonight, Fox Sports Radio, Thursday edition of the program. A lot to get to tonight with my friend Rob Kegron. New York City native, New York Knicks lifer. Rob Kegron's coming in. It should be some fun discussion with Rob, and I'm gonna be heated tonight. You ready, Rob? He's on his way. Hang on. Thursday happy hour coming up with national radio host Rob Kegron live in studio. Matthew Coller's in first. Vikings talk. I mean, are we going to talk about these QBs all summer? I think that might be the case. Everybody's talking about J.J. McCarthy and Kyler Murray, including Matthew Coller, Purple Insider. Find his YouTube, his podcast, his site, Purple Insider. Matthew Coller. There's already conspiracy theories going. So let me just ask you up front. Is there a quarterback competition? Are you on that train of thought? A real competition right now?
Well, you know, the way that I think of it is if you have two NASCARs that are in the same race, but one is starting at the pole position and the other is starting 35th, are they competing against each other? The answer is absolutely yes, but it's up to the car that's starting in 35th to gain a heck of a lot of ground and prove itself more so than in the pole position, right? It's a harder road, and I think that's the way this works. It wouldn't make a lot of sense for Kevin O'Connell to just dismiss J.J. McCarthy. I mean, they spent a first-round draft pick on him. We've seen quarterbacks over the years, Baker Mayfield, Geno Smith, Sam Darnold, develop and become much better quarterbacks than they were early in their careers. So why would you just tell a guy, no, don't even try. Don't even come to camp and don't even bother because Kyler's the quarterback. And also, as good as Kyler has been in his career, no one knows until we actually see it how he's going to perform as a Minnesota Viking. So why not let it play out into training camp? But I think that J.J. McCarthy would have to make massive strides to be in the stratosphere of someone like Murray. And I know that Murray is not a megastar quarterback. Otherwise, he'd be getting $500 million from the Chiefs and not available to the Vikings. But he's been very good at times throughout his career and has a lot more experience than J.J. McCarthy. I mean, he was brought here to be the starter. He signed here to be the starter because they believe that they can win games right now with this team. So unless J.J. McCarthy takes a massive step forward and looks like a totally different quarterback, again, possible, Kyler Murray is the runaway favorite still to be the Viking starting quarterback.
What do you think of Kyler's statement the other day about not getting as many reps? That's his biggest challenge. He's already behind. He's learning another offense. He's not maybe getting as many reps as he could be. What did you make of that?
I thought that it was extremely overblown. I mean, he was asked a direct question of what is the hardest part of learning this new offense, and he said the hardest part is that everywhere I've been before, I've gotten all the reps, and this is different. And people took it as, well, look, the internet is asinine, right? I mean, like, this is what people try to do, is grab anything they can to create some sort of controversy because they're trying to get as much engagement as they possibly can. So you take a quote like that, you make it much more than it was. And he even said that he accepted when he took the job that it was going to be an uncomfortable situation compared to what he's done before. So I didn't make anything of it. Honestly, I thought that he just was telling the truth and something that we all know, that he's not getting all of the reps. But, you know, I think a lot of people wanted to put words in his mouth and act like he was taking shots at Kevin O'Connell, and O'Connell today, you know, shot that down, of course, because that's not what he was trying to do. I think what everyone's going to try to do during whatever time this goes on is try to take every camp report, every little video that gets tweeted, every comment that's said, to try to figure out what they're thinking internally. But you know what's going to tell us the answer to that is how many reps the quarterbacks get. It's not going to be somebody's podium comment. It's not going to be a praise for JJ from Justin Jefferson or something else. It's going to be who is getting the starting quarterback reps in camp. They cannot hide that. The starting quarterback needs to get the most reps. So the real question is not what Kyler or JJ said, you know, during their podium sessions. The real question is, how long do you go into the summer before you make a decision on which guy is going to get the vast majority of or all of the reps? Is it going to be after they put the pads on? Is it going to be preseason? Are we going to see them compete in preseason games, which is almost unthinkable under Kevin O'Connell because he never plays starters during the preseason? We don't know any of this because we've never seen under Kevin O'Connell a quarterback competition before, and then, you know, it will be revealed how real it is, because if J.J. McCarthy is looking great and they really want to take this to the end, it could go on all summer. It could also be done within the first week. We really have no idea.
Yeah, I wanted to ask your opinion on it. If Kyler Murray is the guy, I'm just guessing. I think he's going to be the guy. I think he's the guy. I don't think they would bring him in if he's not the guy. I know he's cheap. Maybe they're just taking a flyer, but I think they're going with him. Do you think they should just make that call sooner than later?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, look, the thing about J.J. McCarthy versus Kyler Murray is that, and you don't have to take my word for it, the Athletic every year does a poll with executives and coaches where they ask what tier each quarterback is in. You know, first tier is Mahomes and Josh Allen and so forth, then down the line. And, you know, Kyler Murray has consistently been a top 15 voted quarterback from NFL executives and coaches in this poll. J.J. McCarthy was 42nd out of 45 quarterbacks in quarterback rating last year. And that doesn't mean that he'll never be a good quarterback. It just means that nothing should be weighed heavier than how they actually play. And I think this is the hard part about even doing a training camp competition, which is Kyler Murray plays off schedule all the time. It's one of the reasons he's been successful in the NFL in a lot of seasons. Not every season, but in a lot of seasons he's been good. But that's scrambling, playmaking, all that stuff. You can't even touch him in training camp. So, I mean, as long as Kyler can get guys lined up, take the snap, and look, you know, he has been questioned before in his commitment, and if he shows a lack of commitment and doesn't look like he's prepared, then yeah, then you've got yourself a quarterback competition. But as long as he shows up, knows the offense, he's a really good thrower. We've seen that already in mini camps. It should be a very easy choice for them. But I also think that you would be not doing your diligence as a head coach if you're not giving another guy who's a first-round pick at least a chance to show what he can do.
Last one for Matthew Collar. I saw some people saying the reason the Vikings staff is complimenting J.J. McCarthy, they're blowing him up. Yeah, he's gotten a lot better. He's really grown. They're trying to set it up for teams to trade for him. Is that a conspiracy?
Yeah, you spent a lot of time online, Nate. I think go outside. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, we don't know. Is it possible? Is it possible that J.J. McCarthy and his camp has demanded a trade, and they're tired of him, and they want to get him out of there as fast as possible to give the reins to Kyler? Is it possible? Of course it is. Is it likely? I don't see the logic in it. Why wouldn't you at least want to have him in training camp to see how it goes with Kyler Murray? Murray has had an ACL tear. He's had a foot issue. I mean, why wouldn't you at least want another quarterback who is capable of starting over a long period of time? Because I think Carson Wentz is a great backup quarterback, but you can't play him for more than 5 games now. He's, 35? I mean, last year he played 5 games, and the 5th one looked like a horror movie. So I just don't think that's a viable option for a longer term if there's an injury to Kyler Murray. So I don't see it as a good idea to trade him unless J.J. McCarthy is being a complete malcontent and you just can't even stand having him in the building. I have gotten no indication that that's the case.
Good stuff, Matthew Collar. Vikings talk. It will continue. Summer's just getting started. Purple Insider for all the coverage of the Vikes with Matthew Collar. I appreciate you, man. Thanks a lot.
Anytime, man. Thanks.
Matthew Collar, Purple Insider. Great coverage of the Vikings minicamp. The Kyler Murray, J.J. McCarthy show continues. Find Matthew Collar on X at Matthew Collar, live from the Twin Cities. Thursday happy hours ready to go. Rob Kegron's coming in. I think he's got his chest out and his head held high. I'm ready for him. Nick's up 3-1. His take coming up.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
At Splash City, we think there's a time for everything. There's work time, there's play time, and there's your time. Splash City specializes in your time. Spas for you and your friends. Beautiful gas fireplaces that can be used almost anywhere, bringing warmth to the night or letting you be alone with your thoughts. Splash City. Rest, relax, enjoy.
The following radio ad is Good Fun Squad approved.
My name is Jenny, and I'm the lady at the South Dakota Lottery who writes out those big checks for our winners. It's a lot of fun, but we've had so many big winners lately, my hand is tired. There was a $600,000 winner, a $2 million winner, a $4 million winner. That's a lot of zeros, and not normal zeros, big check zeros, and the winning never stops. That's why I'm learning to write with both hands.
Good fun.
Must be 18 or older to play. Please play responsibly.
No one comes close to the selection of whiskey and bourbon than your Mr. Liquor stores in Rapid City. And this month you can save $6 off a $7.50 bottle of Pendleton, now $18.99. Or choose the big 175-liter bottle of Pendleton for only $45.99. Plus save $8 off a handle of Crown Royal for just $46.99. Price is good at both Mr. Liquor stores in Rapid City. Off Catron next to Walmart, or the original Mr. Liquor on the corner of West Chicago and Sturgis Road in Rapid City.
At Connect Home Center, they've been a part of the Mead Lumber family since 2000. Now, they're bringing everything together under one trusted name, Mead Lumber. Don't worry, your favorite team, great service, and high-quality products aren't going anywhere. Connect Home Center is becoming Mead Lumber. Same people, same service, just a new name. From design to finish, here for you every step of the way. Check them out at meadlumber.com.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City.
We all know life's busy, and if you get sick, you can get behind pretty quick. That's where Black Hills Urgent Care comes in. No appointments needed, no long waits, just fast, affordable care to get you feeling better quicker. Black Hills Urgent Care has 2 locations in Rapid City on Haynes Avenue and Mountain View Road. You can simply check in online at bhucare.com. That's with the letter U, bhucare.com. When you need care, see the team at Black Hills Urgent Care, the faster way to get better.
Have you ever really thought about how important your front door, and every entry door into your home for that matter, really is? That door provides security for your family and so much more. The wait is over. Ensemble Doors by Renewal by Andersen have arrived. These awesome secure doors have timeless style, elegant features. They can be customized countless ways with the legendary quality of Renewal by Andersen. Right now, Renewal by Andersen is offering an incredible value on Ensemble entry doors. You get 20% off every Ensemble entry door. No money down, no interest, no payments for 12 months. No payments for a year. Ensemble entry doors by Renewal by Andersen are just so much better. They're built with the best quality materials, including Renewal by Andersen's exclusive Fibrex, which has been tested to deliver enhanced security, certified performance, and lasting beauty. Please visit RBARapidCity.com now. That's RBARapidCity.com to book your free estimate. Ensemble entry doors. The wait is over.
One more time.
This is the Nate Brown Show. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
All right, welcome in Thursday Happy Hour. You found us. It is South Dakota Sports Talk Show live, and the Nate Brown Show inviting in Rob Kagron. I didn't shut it down today. I mean, I was going to shut it down, but it's too good, and he was coming at me already. You don't do that very often, and I mean, you New York fans, you're really aggressive these days. You got to watch yourselves, but he's coming at me last night on Twitter. He's ready for it. It's ready. Second hour, Thursday Happy Hour. The Knicks' lucky run continues, and they're up 3-1. You know that I was going to say that.
You are so ridiculous, Nate. First of all, I want to make it clear to the listening audience around the state, I do not have any eggs to throw at you right now, okay, Nate? No problem. You're safe in that regard.
We're going to get into that, believe me.
But lucky? I mean, what lucky? We've won 3 out of 4 games. That is not luck. You don't win you need some luck. I'll give you that. But you don't win exclusively on luck.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Yeah. This is our first question tonight.
Yeah.
I had a listener respond to me and said, the Knicks made the plays. And I'm going to tell you, Brunson makes plays. Anunoby makes plays. I mean, unbelievable plays. So I'll hand you. There's something about them. They come back from 20. They've done that thing numerous times. So there's something about those guys. And I think the Villanova guys are tight. They played with each other a long time. I mean, there's something there. Gritty, tough, composed, experienced. I mean, that is the difference. But the Spurs lost it. The Knicks did not win it. You can't say the Knicks won it. They scored on average, second half pace, same score that they've done. The Spurs made 7 shots, Rob, in the second half. My team, 7th grade girls make more than that in a half. 7.
8, I think it was. But okay, well, let's not quibble over one or the other. I would say, if you want to give a percentage, Nate, Spurs losing as opposed to Knicks winning, I'm going to go somewhere like 75-25. I agree it's way more Spurs losing the game than Knicks winning the game. But let's be fair. Down the stretch, the Knicks had to make plays and had to make shots, and they did both, right? So you can't... When you're down that many points, I guess my point is, you have to do a lot of things right as the other team is doing a lot of things wrong. If the Knicks go on a cold streak in the last 6 minutes of the game, even with the Spurs playing terribly, the Knicks wouldn't have won the game. I mean, just the play alone, you kind of alluded to it. The play by Anunoby to get into the paint and tip that ball in is an incredible basketball play.
Crazy.
Right? And so,
lucky, but crazy.
No, it's not lucky. He
had to have everything go right. Off the front of the rim, at the sky. I mean, you got to have everything go right. That thing bounces another way. It's over, Rob.
Okay,
it's over.
Okay, the luck of the ball getting to you, yes. You still have to put the ball back in the hoop.
Correct. Right? And great play. It's lucky, great play.
I'll give you that the Spurs lost it more than the Knicks won it. But to say that it's all on the Spurs losing it, the Knicks had to do a lot of things right in the second half. half. You know, you dig yourself a 29-point hole beginning of the third quarter. If you want to win a game like that, I mean, you think about, like, if there's a checklist of 20 things, you got to get 22 out of the 20 to just even have a shot to get back in the game, and they did everything right in the second half.
So what was the biggest reason? People are going to De'Aaron Fox. I'm not. It was a bad play. He had bad turnovers. I was yelling at Fox a lot. He, by the way, won Game 3 for the Spurs, and all the people forget that. He hit the jumper, and they won Game 3, but then you're just thrown away. So they say, Fox, that was the bonehead play. They would have won for sure. I'm not so sure. You get fouled. You got to make free throws. Still a one-possession game, so I don't – the Fox thing. Mitch Johnson, hey, he didn't call timeouts. He didn't stop the flow. He didn't make him stop shooting threes. I'm telling you, it's the Spurs meltdown across the board. Wemby was bad. Fox was bad. Nobody stepped up and said, we got to change this course here. This is a 29-point meltdown. I can't put that on the coach.
I think the coach has to take some responsibility, but I would generally agree with you. It's kind of across the board, absolutely sloppy play, right? The way I thought about that second half, and this is now thinking about it right after the game happened, and then waking up this morning and thinking about it again. First of all, 9 turnovers in the second half, so that's sloppy right there. The shot quality, right? Across the board in the second half, taking bad shot after bad shot after bad shot.
3-pointers with 20 on the shot clock, 18 on the shot clock.
And that's where I was going next. The clock is your friend when you have a big lead. Why on earth are you shooting the ball with 20 seconds left on the shot clock? You shouldn't be shooting till, you want to say 6 or 7 seconds? Okay, I'll give you that. But let's
take some violations. Some violations.
Yes, absolutely. To me, that was probably the most insane part, and that is on the coach, right? Like, you got to settle your guys down. You don't even have to call a timeout for that, right? When you have a media timeout, guys, no more, right? I don't want to see a shot go up before 12 seconds left, right? I would say 8, but something, like, make it clear to them. You got all that. Then you got Castle getting himself in huge foul trouble, right? Missing big parts of the third and fourth quarter. And say what you want about Castle, I mean, he is a great defender. He is ferocious. And him on Brunson does at least slow him down a bit. And him being out for a lot of the second half hurt them a lot. But I think overall, you're right. It's a tremendous amount of sloppy basketball throughout the entirety of the second half, and some of the worst shooting I've ever seen.
I started talking about it, and people are going to think I'm nuts. My family thinks I'm nuts. I'm watching with my wife and daughters, and it's like 25-point lead, and I started seeing them do these threes, and they missed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I go, why are they shooting threes? I don't. And then Barkley said it at the end of the game. I was saying it there. I'm just a simpleton from South Dakota. I'm going, these guys are going to screw this up, and you can just tell the Knicks just keep chipping away. What did you think? As a Knicks fan, you're sitting there. Did you think it was over? I did not think it was over. When it was 25, I said if they get to this magic number like 14-12, and Cat hit a 3 and it took it like to 12, and I thought, look out, it's over. 12 points is nothing in the NBA.
So I'll be fair. At halftime, I absolutely thought the game was over, right? I just felt like the Spurs wouldn't play as well in the second half, but I could have never envisioned them playing that poorly, and I just didn't feel like the Knicks had it last night. And so at halftime, I was dejected, right? I took 10, 12 minutes to try to clear my head, and then I got back in. And then you start, as a fan, convincing yourself, maybe there's a chance, maybe there's a chance.
A brick.
Well, and I read Mike Brown's comments after the game, and he said he told the guys at half, just get us to about 15 at the fourth quarter, and we'll have a chance. I didn't obviously know he had said that. I thought the same exact thing. If we could somehow get it to 15 beginning of the fourth quarter, I'd feel like we'd have a shot. And slowly, as you crept towards 15 from 29, and you get to 15 at the beginning of the fourth, I know that San Antonio went back up 20 in the beginning of the fourth quarter. I really did feel like at that point we had at least a chance. And I started to believe little by little. Honestly, with 4 minutes to go, I felt like we had a decent chance, right?
Well, you should have.
Because they were just still shooting, throwing the ball up. And
they were playing not to lose. You could tell the Spurs started going, we're scared.
Yeah.
I mean, they're looking up. How much time's left? Are we still ahead?
Well, and here's where another reason I want to blame the coach. Wembanyama, I think, played 44 minutes last night. You have a 29-point lead in the beginning of the third quarter. You got to get your star some time. If they get back a little bit in the game, so be it. But give him a blow, 3-4 minutes, so that he has his energy at the end of the game in case you need him.
I guess, but
he looked shot at the end of the game, Nate.
You got to suck it up. Come on. They've taken this guy out so much throughout the year. I mean, you got to start playing.
You didn't need him in the third quarter, Nate. Give him a break there so that he has energy in the fourth.
I get it, but you guys don't give Brunson a break. Brunson
But
plays,
we had
man.
our back against the wall. We needed him in there the whole time. With Wembanyama, you're telling me that the fatigue didn't affect him in those last two free throws?
He looked rough.
Well, he missed 2 free throws that cost them the game.
Listener text saying Wemby missing the 2 huge free throws late. That's the Knicks getting lucky. Come on, Rob.
No, I don't think it's just luck. I mean, to say that that's luck when you wear a guy down, and so part of that is I think on the coach, but part of it is they played him very physically all night long. You wear him down so that in moments at the end of the game, he might not be at his best, and he certainly wasn't there.
By the way, how come we've missed the call? We missed it, and nobody's talking about it. And Anunoby fouled De'Aaron Fox.
No, that was not a foul. Oh, stop.
It's right here. I'll show you the picture.
Stop.
It's right here. They got him on the arm. It's right. I mean, it's
not
clear.
a foul.
You can't. You
want to go down this path? You want to go down this path? You want to go down this path? Then Wembanyama should be suspended for Game 5.
No, not at all.
What do you mean no? He
thing,
threw Jalen Brunson to the floor in Game 3.
He's getting tackled. He's getting tackled by Alvarado. He's getting tackled. What was that?
That should have been a flagrant too. I'll give you that. And they called Mitchell Robinson for a flagrant. What he did to Brunson in Game 3, and I haven't talked to you since that Game 3, let's be fair, that was a flagrant, and they had an opportunity to upgrade it after the game, and they didn't do that.
I'm Brunson. You see Brunson? He grabbed his jersey. He's pulling on his jersey. Get off of me. He said, get off of me. Quit pulling me and knocking me around.
He threw him to the floor, Nate.
By the way, I'm going to show you this close-up. I'll send it out on Twitter again.
I
put
saw
it.
It's not a foul.
He hit him on the arm.
First of all, you shouldn't be rewarded for bad basketball. De'Aaron Fox is one of the biggest It wasn't a foul. One of the biggest bonehead moves in a basketball game I've ever seen. What are you doing? And then he has the audacity, Nate. Did you hear him after the game? He has the audacity to defend it. I was trying to get us up by 3. You know, there's another way to get you up by 3. Get fouled. You're a great free throw shooter. Make both of your free throws, and then you're still up 3, and the best the Knicks can do is tie the game, you dummy. Big dummy.
He shouldn't have done it, but he got fouled, and nobody's going to talk about it. It's amazing.
You are ridiculous.
It's a foul. You know it.
There was 1,000 fouls they didn't call in that game. They were very physical.
That's a big one. By the way, is this series over? Is it over? We will talk that next.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one, so you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
The summer heat will be here soon, but our hot summer savings sale starts now. Get $1,200 off every door and $800 off every window with no money down, no interest, and no payments for 12 months. Plus an extra 5% off the entire project if purchased on initial consultation. Hurry, this exclusive offer won't last long. Now's the perfect time to upgrade your windows and doors, so grab these hot savings while you can. Call today or visit RBARapidCity.com to book your free estimate.
What do you call a place that's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait, there's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps one minute and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
I didn't know anything about radon. I didn't know it's a gas you can't see or smell. I didn't know it's radioactive from decaying uranium deep underground. It can seep through cracks in your foundation and collect in your house. 1 in 15 homes have high levels, and you don't know if yours is one of them unless you have your home tested. And radon? Well, radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer in America. I wish I would have known that.
Call Blackburn Foundation Repair for radon testing and mitigation.
There are 1 billion credit card transactions around the world every day. That's 11,698 swipes a second. It's easy to forget that behind each one, there's a person, a family, a dream, a connection being made. The Black Hills Federal Credit Union Visa, for members who want to make the most of every transaction.
To college to the pros, from Rapid City to Sioux Falls, the Nate Brown Show is South Dakota's sports talk.
Welcome back in. South Dakota Sports Talk Show live. The Nate Brown Show is on tonight. What a Thursday. Man, an epic game last night. If you missed that, I don't know what to tell you. That was wild. My 76-year-old mother, she watches sports. I grew up watching sports. She loves sports. She lives by herself now, and I'm thinking, she's like, I'm watching the game tonight. And then it was 76-49, so I called her. I said, so you bagged it tonight. I mean, she's 76. She's like, I'm going to see what's on, Traveling Europe or something like that. And she goes, oh, I watched every second. I go, you didn't bail on this? And she goes, I watched every second. And so that tells you, if you didn't stick with this. And then my 17-year-old daughter gets home. She's watching, then she leaves, and then she comes back. And then she's all upset. She goes, I can't believe they lost this game. I go, get out of here. You didn't watch this thing from 29 points down. She saw it when it was like 8.
Yeah.
You can't be upset after that. No. I was there for every play, as you were.
Yes, I was. I was completely into it.
Makes a difference. 29-point collapse, biggest finals comeback ever. And so now is the series over? And that's my question. Is this over? This is your time.
I mean, Nate, if you don't think it's over, you need to have your head examined.
God. So it's over. You're going to be this New York hockey guy tonight?
Nate, the Spurs had a golden opportunity last night to even the series, steal all the momentum, and know that they have 2 games at home and really could absolutely do an incredible thing after losing both Game 1 and Game 2 at home. And they gave that up. And now you want to tell me that the Knicks are not going to win one of the next 3 when they've already won 2 in San Antonio and Game 6 would be back in New York?
So you're not saying it's over Saturday, but you're saying it's over.
I think it's over Saturday.
What?
I really do.
Here's where you're wrong. Here's where you're wrong on this, okay? You ready? These guys are young. You know this. They look like, they're out of control half the time. They don't know what they're doing. That's going to help them Saturday. They don't think that they're done. They think they're right in this thing, as in teams, veteran teams. They know it's over. Some of these teams that have never come back, they know it's over. These guys think, they're kind of cocky. I don't know if you'd noticed. They're cocky. So are the Knicks. But the Spurs are cocky. They think this isn't over, so they're going to win on Saturday. I know that.
I don't see that, Nate, honestly. And this is not me being a homer. I just think that the Knicks winning a game like that in that kind of dramatic fashion, I think will just buoy them to an even better performance. First of all, better performance. But they will not come out flat at the beginning of the game as they have a number of times in the series.
They've been flat all the time.
Actually, all four games, they've been down double digits in the first quarter. I don't think that's happening on Saturday. I think this is going to be a very tight game the whole way, and I think they will just rise to the occasion based on the fact that they don't want to give the Spurs any belief that they can get back into the series. And so, to me, if you really have a champion's mentality, if you really have a winner's mentality, I don't want to say this in the wrong way, but you know what I mean. You step on there exactly, and you make sure that this series is.
That's the difference.
What did you see? What did you see from that team that wasn't elite in the second half of last night?
You just said it. They've been down double. The Spurs have.
And this is why I think that they will come out very sharp, very mentally ready to go, determined to end this series. And I honestly don't think it's coming back to New York. I think this series is over on Saturday night.
Matched. I'm going to give you this. They're evenly matched. Spurs probably a little bit better with some bad luck.
Okay, I don't actually think that the Spurs are a little bit... Fair, Nate. Okay,
Bad luck.
even if you... Oh, my gosh. Even if you... You're going to give me... You're literally trying
know
to...
that.
I'm so happy today. Be fair now. You think they're going to win on Saturday. That's a fine take. I don't have a problem with anyone who thinks San Antonio is going to win Game 5 at home. Who is going to win this series? Be honest to the audience that you have cultivated and been loyal to.
Yes.
Do not lie to them right now. Nate, on the stream, he's starting to smile already.
Just listen.
He's building himself up.
I've got this win Saturday, and then the pressure does go back to your win Saturday, because now you got all these ding-dongs in New York, the celebrities coming out to win it on our home floor. We're going to win it. And then you go to a Game 7, and now we got a problem. Now you got a problem. So you need to win Saturday, and that's why I think you're saying
the next three. Once again, Nate, you filibustered well, but you didn't answer the question. Who is going to win this series?
If I believe, but I'm not sure.
Man, I gotta twist your arm so bad.
I am honestly not sure, because if you confident, and by the way, the Spurs, you have to say why have they led more than the Knicks? Because it seems like they're better.
They're not better. Okay, the way I determine better or worse is winning and losing. And 3 out of 4 times, the Knicks have been better.
Tough at the end of the game. Really tough. Now, the young guys on the Spurs, can they close out games? And that's what's missing. Honest, if I'm being honest, the young guys, the plays, Wemby in the fourth quarter, all these guys, they can't close it out, and it seems like the Knicks do.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do think that has been the determining factor in all of these games. I mean, down the stretch last night with not just the missed shots but the turnovers, right? If you think about Game 2 with what Wemby did with that, terrible decision to make a pass there.
Just frantic. They're just frantic.
That's a good way to say it, Nate. Frantic, right? They seem a bit frazzled in those big moments. And I think some of that is just youth, right? I think they'll get over that in a couple of years, right? We'll be looking back at this after they lose this series, which you at least agreed that they will lose this series. This will be a learning experience for them, and they'll get better. Like, they're not going to get worse. It's not as if, they're going to be destined to not win. They're going to win eventually. It's just not this year.
Last one on the New York fiasco. This is bad stuff. You got to get into your buddies out there and say, why do you guys act like this? Now, I'm not going to say you New York nice guys are all like this, but what's going on? You're throwing eggs? You're going to the hotel last night and throwing eggs at Wembanyama? You can't have that.
I completely agree. It gives New Yorkers a terrible look. And
it's just a few yahoos, right?
No, yeah.
It's a huge city.
Not. It's a city of 8 million people. There are 5 boroughs in New York where I grew up. I can tell you, I spoke to a lot of friends by text last night. I try not to text during the game because I don't want to get distracted. But after the game, and photos and videos of people watching in their backyard. It was a beautiful night in New York. People watching in their backyards, people watching in their houses, big groups, absolutely going crazy, celebrating the right way. But yeah, we have a city of 8 million, right? They're not all going to be winners. Let's be fair. There are going to be some idiots, and there were plenty of them last night, and there were plenty of them.
That's a bad look.
It is a bad look, and I think if we win, whether it be on Saturday or on Tuesday, you're going to probably have some more real idiots. But once you get to the parade, which there will be one, and it'll be a big one, probably the biggest that New York has ever seen, hopefully the idiots are gone by then.
Man, you're starting to get me to this line again because now you're cocky again. You say there's a parade coming, there's all this and that. You've locked it in. I said I think. You said it's a guarantee.
I didn't say the word guarantee, but if you'd like me to do
the
that,
way you're talking.
I guarantee the New York Knicks will win the NBA Finals this year.
Boy.
Guaranteed. Book it. Get that recording, Kearney. Put it everywhere. because if somehow we lose,
you are setting yourself up.
You're going to play that for a loop over and over again, and I'm going to look like the biggest dummy in the world.
All right, even worse than De'Aaron Fox. Coming right back, Josh Allen made headlines this week, leads the NFL in jersey sales. So we want to jump into this. I asked Rob today, who are the top 3 faces of the NFL right now? Top 3 faces of the NFL coming up.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
How do you make a buffet day even better? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade is your place for good food and good times. Won the big game? Make it a play day. Aced your test? Make it a play day. Just need to get out of the house? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade has all your favorites and all kinds of fun. So bring your family, bring your friends, bring your team. For good food and good times, make it a buffet day and a play day at the Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade.
Could there be a better name? Auto Value Parts Stores. They aren't just about air fresheners or fuzzy dice. Auto Value Parts Stores are all about parts, auto parts, and advice. Pros who know auto parts with tons of tips when you need them the most. You want real value? Don't go to a place with a cute name. Go to Auto Value. Could there be a better name? I didn't think so. Your Auto Value Parts Store. We've got the parts, we've got the smarts.
Shop the region's unmatched selection of beer, wine, and spirits at your Mr. Liquor stores in Rapid City. This month's specials include $4 off the big 175 bottle of Jack Daniels, now $45.99. Save $2 off all Menage a Trois wines for only $9.99. Or choose Deep Eddy Vodka, just $15.99 for the $7.50. Price is good at both Mr. Liquor stores in Rapid City, off Catron next to Walmart, or the original Mr. Liquor on the corner of West Chicago and Sturgis Road in Rapid City. Host your next big event at the Box Elder Event Center, now featuring all new lighting, enhanced sound, and cutting-edge AV. Your destination for conventions, conferences, weddings, tournaments, concerts, and private parties of all kinds. Plus, their gourmet catering isn't just for on-site events, they'll deliver straight to you. Don't miss the Pickle Boo Pickleball Tournament and Fall Hoop Fest. Learn more and book today at thebox.live.
Hi, I'm Tim Wrench, and I'm seeking personal injury cases. If you've been injured because someone else did something wrong, call me up. I'm a trial lawyer. I've tried criminal and civil cases for decades, and I can use all of that experience to help you. I also know this, that when insurance companies know that you're represented by a trial lawyer, they take your claim more seriously, and if it is to be settled, it's settled better with a trial lawyer. Wrench Law, 605-341-1111, wrenchlaw.com.
Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is everywhere you need us to be, on the sidelines supporting our local athletes, at our clinic locations throughout the region, and at our Ortho Express walk-in clinic when you don't have time to wait. We're here when you need us, working as a team to make your comeback stronger than ever. Getting stronger, getting better, getting you back to your best self. The life of an athlete has its uncertainties, wins and losses, injury and recovery. In the Black Hills area, athletes can always count on Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, here for whatever moves you.
If you're in the market for a vehicle right now, you probably have noticed it's sometimes hard to find the right one. That's where Summit Automotive Group steps in. Stacy and Matt and their staff working hard to get a great selection of pre-owned vehicles at affordable prices. At Summit Automotive, they have a different outlook on selling you a vehicle. You'll experience stress-free shopping, friendly, honest service with no high-pressure sales gimmicks. Before you buy, drop by East Highway 44, summitautogrp.com.
This is the Nate Brown Show, also streaming live on YouTube. Subscribe to the Nate Brown Show on YouTube.
Well, it's been fun so far. Thursday happy hour. Rob Cagron's in studio. He's guaranteed the Knicks are winning the NBA Finals. You guys might just not even watch on Saturday. It's over. When is he going to do that parade? When are you going to do that here? Next week?
If they win on Saturday, I would bet the parade is Tuesday.
Now, they'll be playing in New York Tuesday. You can book that.
Well, then the parade will be on Thursday.
I keep on sticking up for the Spurs. I'm a bandwagoner. I started watching them the last couple of years, so I admit that. I'm not a Knicks lifer like Rob, but great team. A little bit better than the Knicks. Just can't close it out. Just can't close it out.
I do think that is a factor in a team being better than another team, right? If you can't close games out, you're not better, right? Do you want to say that they have some more skill? I don't even know if I agree with that. They have the best player on the court. I'll give you that.
Yeah, but he's I don't know. I mean, I like Wemby, best player on the court, but then he goes out there. He took like 3 threes on one possession. They kept on getting rebounds. It's like, what are you doing?
I don't understand why someone isn't telling that young man, you are 7'5". The best place for you is down near the hoop, right? Every time they throw up like an alley-oop kind of thing to him, he just slams it down.
Slams it or he gets fouled.
It's not a defendable play. Why are you shooting from beyond the arc over? I get if you're wide open and you got a shot. Okay, fine. He's a good shooter. The best recipe for success is him down by the hoop.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
They're just all over the map. Wild one last night. We got a listener text that came in, 605-720-1067. You can text the show, be a part of the conversation here on the Nate Brown Show with Rob Kagron. Listener text, don't forget the NBA wants the Knicks to win.
Yeah, I don't believe that at all. I mean,
well, I think they do. They would be rooting for the Knicks. Huge market, huge brand, haven't won a championship. I mean, I never believe in the conspiracies. I'm not saying there is any at all. But secretly, the NBA would love the Knicks to win. The Spurs will win here down the road.
But I would say it's 50-50 because they would just as much love the face of the new face of the NBA to win a championship at the age of 22. I think that's a great story.
Good point.
Right? Like, yeah, I get the Knicks not having won in 53 years is a big thing. I mean, anybody my generation has never seen. For all of the New York championships, not that there's so many, but I've seen a lot of my teams win, right? I've never seen the Knicks win. So I get that. It will be huge for the NBA and for New York, but Wemby winning would be a big story too.
Let's shift gears. I thought this was an interesting deal. Came out a couple of days ago. The NFL releases jersey sales, and so they say going into the 2026 season, here's the top jersey sales. I always find this interesting. In the NBA, it was Steph Curry still this year. Wembanyama was, I think, 4. So he's like top 5, but it was like, he's getting up there, for example. And I think Wembanyama's the face of the NBA for the next 10 years. So I thought, hang on, what about the NFL side of this? And Rob's a big NFL guy. So number 1 in jersey sales this year right now is Josh Allen. And that's my boy, Wyoming. He's come on the show. I mean, I'm a homer. Josh Allen, I said, how can you not like him? Character, athleticism, leadership, good guy, does the charity stuff. He plays for the Bills. They don't win. So I think Josh has it all going. Like, nobody says I hate Josh Allen. So number 1 in jersey sales. And then I thought, who are the top 3 faces of the NFL? If you can look and say, if Wemby's the guy in the NBA, and maybe you still put Steph in there now, how about now in the NFL, the top 3 faces of the NFL? I am going to put Josh Allen because of this NFL jersey. He's number 1 right now. Is he the face of the NFL?
He is not. No, I would not say that. I would say he's top 3 for sure.
Top 3.
Absolutely. But I don't think he's the number 1. I think the number 1 is still pretty clear.
Oh, you do. And I know which way you're going. He's in my top 3. So can we agree that this segment, we're going to say Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes are both in the top 3?
Yes, absolutely. There's I don't think anybody who pays attention to football doesn't think that those. I would argue they are 1 and 2. Right?
They are. I've got them flipped. You've got Mahomes 1. He was 6 in jersey sales. What's the deal?
Well, I think to your point, right? Steph Curry was number 1. Is he the face of the NBA right now? He's not, right? So I do think there is a difference there. Plus, he's been around forever. Mahomes, I think part of the thing with Allen is the personality kind of thing,
yes.
Right? The way he speaks, right?
Likeable.
Mahomes, is very polished, but he doesn't give you much. He's not saying much. When Josh Allen loses another playoff game, because he constantly loses playoff games, although he's great, it's not because of his fault. He's real at the podium afterwards, right? And people notice that. People notice when he talks that he's real. He's very personable. You love the way he plays the game, right? The fact that there's a difference between the way Mahomes plays and Allen plays. Allen is, first of all, he's much bigger, but he just runs through people, right? Mahomes is looking to kind of run to the outside, get out of bounds. Mahomes is looking for a penalty. Allen isn't. There's a different kind of style, and Allen's style, I think most fans
Tough.
like. They really enjoy that in a quarterback. But I still think that Mahomes is the face because, how much he's won so far already in his career.
Last couple of years. I think he's declined. I think the Chiefs brand has declined.
I agree it's declined, but Allen's going to have to win, I think, to really become the face of the NFL, right? Like, he's going to have to win. He's going to have to at least get to a Super Bowl. Let's say that. And he hasn't done that yet in his career. And Mahomes has done so much winning. I think it's going to... Now, you say Mahomes has another bad year or two? Okay, I'll give you that. But for right now, I think Mahomes is slightly ahead of Allen.
Okay, so you're going Mahomes 1, Josh Allen 2. We didn't discuss this. I'm going Josh Allen 1, Mahomes is 2. So we're looking for that third guy. I think it's really debatable, so I'll give it to you.
Yeah, I think there could be a bunch of people on this number 3. I think it was clear-cut a year or two ago who number 3 was, and so I'm still going to give it to him, but he doesn't have it by much, and it's Lamar Jackson. Because I think the way that he plays, another guy who's constantly running all over the place, I think his style of quarterback people embrace. And I it's hard for me to give it to someone who's not a quarterback, right?
I don't think you can. I was going to go wide receiver. Is it Jamar Chase? Is it Justin Jefferson? There's some highlight reel guys. I can't do that.
Yeah, there's a thing about NFL quarterbacks. Once you know the name, you can put a face to that name all the time. Wide receivers, not always, right? Like, because they're not right in the forefront all the time, I think that has something to do with it. The fact that I can't even recognize some of the guys, right? You and I can, but, the average fan
Why do you watch some games? You look at a game on a Thursday night and you say, what's the quarterback matchup?
That's exactly what it is. So I still think it's Lamar. I don't think he has it by much. Another one because he hasn't won much. He's also been injured a lot. I think all of that combined, they didn't even make the playoffs last year, right? Or did they make it lose? I can't even remember. But the fact of the matter is, Lamar, still, the way he plays the game, that electric kind of way he plays the game, I think keeps him in number 3. Do you agree?
I'm very close there. I was going Lamar Jackson. I was crossing it out, and then I'd write this name, and then I'd write Lamar again. So I was going to go Lamar. The other guy would say he hasn't been in the limelight.
Was right near there, but, 1 year removed, not there anymore.
How about Sam Darnold, your guy?
Definitely not the face of anything.
Well, I was surprised you didn't go Matthew Stafford. I was waiting for that one. Oh, Matthew, mighty Matthew. He's not a face of the NFL?
He's close. I'd say top 5, top 6, somewhere around there. I'd love to have a defensive player up there. Myles Garrett is close, I would say, but still,
you can't put him up there with quarterbacks.
Very hard to compete with quarterbacks.
We have the same 3. I went Lamar Jackson as well. Joe Burrow, very close, back and forth. Coming right back on the Nate Brown Show, wrapping up a Thursday happy hour. My coach got a new contract today. 5-year contract. Will this mean a guaranteed Super Bowl for Sean Payton? Is that what the Broncos think? Coming up.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
At Splash City,
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number 1. So you can always be their number 1. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number 1 hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
The summer heat will be here soon, but our hot summer savings sale starts now. Get $1,200 off every door and $800 off every window with no money down, no interest, and no payments for 12 months. Plus an extra 5% off the entire project if purchased on initial consultation. Hurry, this exclusive offer won't last long. Now's the perfect time to upgrade your windows and doors, so grab these hot savings while you can. Call today or visit RBARapidCity.com to book your free estimate.
What do you call a place that's one of Deadwood's largest casinos? But is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait, there's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps one minute, and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
I didn't know anything about radon. I didn't know it's a gas you can't see or smell. I didn't know it's radioactive from decaying uranium deep underground. It can seep through cracks in your foundation and collect in your house. 1 in 15 homes have high levels, and you don't know if yours is one of them unless you have your home tested. And radon? Well, radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer in America. I wish I would have known that.
Call Blackburn Foundation Repair for radon testing and mitigation.
Are there as many kinds of vehicles as there are kinds of people? We think so. At Black Hills Federal Credit Union, we help all kinds of people come together with all kinds of vehicles. With loans made to fit everyone and every ride.
All right, the final 2 minutes, 2-minute warning on the Nate Brown Show. Rob Kagron's in here, Thursday happy hour, setting you up for the weekend World Cup, U.S. men's national team tomorrow night. I'm ready for that. Listener text coming in. This is a good one. KVN TV, Jack Cottle. A listener text saying Jack Cottle would be so hurt to hear you say nobody's a Bengals fan in South Dakota. So Jack Cottle is the Bengals fan.
I stand corrected. How dare I offend Jack Cottle and any other Bengals fans out there?
There are one at least, or two. How about my Broncos? We'll wrap up with this. 1 minute left. Broncos give Sean Payton a new contract. Not like an extension per se, but there was 2 years left for Sean Payton. 2 years left. They ripped that up and said, here's a brand new, rich 5-year deal. Is this the right play?
Oh, it's definitely the right play. I mean, let's be fair. You guys were in an abyss for about 10 years. A lot of that had to do with not having a quarterback, but he's absolutely made you a contender year in and year out. You have to reward that guy with an extension. No doubt
Will
about
he
it.
get us to a Super Bowl? We were an injury away. We would have been there. You know it. Will we get there? This is the window. That's it.
I think so, but I wouldn't guarantee it. I mean, in the AFC with Burrow and Allen and Mahomes and Lamar,
Herbert,
Drake May, you got a lot of talent in the AFC. To say it's a guarantee is not at all, but I think so. I mean, they were so close last year. I think that they will find the right pieces to make a run somewhere in this 5-year period.
Thanks for listening. Rob setting my Broncos up, and his Knicks will lose Saturday. We'll see you next week.
The following radio ad is Good Fun Squad approved.